The push for federal staffing cuts. I want to bring in Mary Ellen Callahan. She's the former chief privacy officer at the Department of Homeland Security. So thank you so much for joining us. I mean, clearly a lot to talk about today. We can start maybe with the attorneys for some of these federal workers. They're saying in a lawsuit that Elon Musk had violated the law over the weekend by demanding that employees explain their accomplishments or risk being fired. First of all, what is a security risk involved for a federal employee like that to answer a question? Because there are some people who think that's not a really hard question to answer and you should be able to answer it.
Thanks, Kana. The problem with the way the request was asked, it was asked to send an email in. Email's insecure. It was put on a server that was created after DOGE took over the OPM email servers, and therefore we don't know whether it has security protocols, what the privacy protections are. And if you have undifferentiated information in an email, it's a really very inefficient way to try to find government efficiencies, because you're going to have to use AI machine learning to run through everything, try to go and find it, and not be able to deal with it in the first place. With regard to the security risk, there's a security of sending an unencrypted email. It also may have sensitive information. If you think about the law enforcement, national security, intelligence can't say what's happening. And it also will be a treasure trove for our adversaries to go and say, what are government workers doing? What are they working on as well? And so I think the security issues are as high as the privacy issues.
Okay, so you're highlighting the fact here that just by putting in what they do in an email could reveal very sensitive, perhaps, information that could put us at national security risk. Is that what you think?
Absolutely. I think it could have a national security risk in a couple of ways. If you're an intelligence officer, if you're a law enforcement officer, you don't want to put that information in. Even if you're working adjacent to that, if you're working on something pre-decisional that hasn't been approved yet, that'll be a sign. And then, as I said, it'll be a real treasure trove or honeypot for other people to go and find out what people are working on as well. And we don't know the security controls with this particular database.
And then how challenging is it when you have different agencies and different organizations hearing different things from their management, right? So they get this email and several of them here don't reply, several here do reply, and others here, it's voluntary, it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, this has caused an incredible distraction. It's very unproductive. It's not useful. All of these people have regular performance plans. They likely report to their supervisors weekly, monthly, whatever it may be. So the supervisors knows what's going on. This is really an attempt to take the performance plan outside of the federal system, to go and remove it from the protections that were discussed earlier, to make sure that to go and have this undifferentiated and candidly difficult to understand summary of the snapshot of a week. It's a distraction. It's super inefficient, and it feels like they're doing it to create anxiety among federal workers and remove their protections, their HR protections.
Well, tell me a little bit about that, of this feeling of anxiety. We are hearing some lawmakers publicly talk about, even if they support the deep cuts and they want it done and they feel like this is the only way to do it, that at least how they're carrying out is a bit undignified.
Certainly from a privacy and security perspective, to go and to email things is very disruptive. To get an email on the weekends, as was said earlier, some people don't have access to their email over the weekend. To go and demand this timing and response, it does feel like it's intended to create chaos and to create distraction. And even after work hours today, I understand OPM said, never mind, you don't have to answer, and it's only voluntary. But the threat of resignation and all the other chaos that's going on with hiring has really created a circumstance where government workers can't be as efficient as they want to be, right? They're constantly dealing with this each week.
And it's interesting that you highlight the term efficiency there, right? Because that's what they're after in the first place. Yeah. All right, Mary Ellen, thank you. Right. Thank you for being here with us today.